How's it going, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of Mail and Hobby Talk. I'm pretty excited that I made it thus far. To some of you that make content on a regular basis, this may seem like a small milestone, but to me it's a bigger one. I a lot of times start like a video series, and I was doing this on Instagram mostly as starting up a series. Oh yeah, I'll do this every week, or I'll do this every month, or something like that. I get 2 or 3 episodes in, and then I just kind of lose interest, don't have time to do it, etc. I did start these Mail and Hobby Talk episodes back in October, so to make it to 10 is pretty good in my opinion. At least it's like, personally for me, it was a goal to do more than 2 or 3 episodes or 1 episode of something and stick with it. So thanks to all of you who have watched these episodes and commented on them, either coming in from Instagram or here on YouTube. If you found me on YouTube, I really appreciate it. I did want to direct you back to these 2 videos I made while I took a little break from doing the Mail and Hobby Talk, which is my collecting cards after the boom series. That took quite a bit of time, more time than I thought. So I have a lot of respect for people that do this full time and like make videos for a living. But anyway, check those out. I do talk about the card boom, what happened. I try to go into a little bit of what you can do nowadays if you're a collector, because I really want to have this channel focus more, at least, my videos outside of these Mail and Hobby Talks where I complain about stuff, but I want to do more collecting content. But this Mail and Hobby Talk is my outlet more to go and talk about the things that bother me in the hobby. But these 2 videos and just the concept in general is something I thought about for the last probably 2-3 years now, just with everything increasing in value and the crazy prices and all that. And I was like, I more or less have to say something about it to convey the way I feel about it. And I felt like this is a really concise way of doing it. Gotten quite a good amount of views, given I only have like 150 subscribers. To see a video that has over 2,000 views is pretty awesome to me. So anyway, thanks for all that you've watched it. If you haven't, definitely go check those out. So we're going to move into this sports card investor. The bottom is almost here. Why cards will go up again soon. And full disclosure, I didn't actually watch this video. I find that I can tolerate a sports card investor video for maybe like a minute, and then it starts getting to me. So I mostly am basing this off of other content creators that I do watch and their reactions to his video. What's interesting to me about him saying that the bottom is almost here and cards are going to go back up is that he has a reason to say this. And his reason is that he sells the Market Movers app, which is like a chart thing for figuring out card prices or whatever. And then he probably makes a little bit of money off of YouTube. So to him, yeah, he wants the cards to go back up, because otherwise what is he going to talk about? I've seen him occasionally talk about collectors and collector content, and he had Marshall Fogel on, but most of his videos rely around cards going up. I mean, why would we listen to this guy? It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, this is what he was saying 2 years ago. There's no bubble. I mean, obviously there was a bubble. We saw card prices crash, and they're continuing to crash because they just went up too fast. Let's see, this is like the beginning of 2022. Here's his first prediction. I got these slides out of order, but anyway, his first prediction is that there's not going to be huge dramatic drop in prices. I mean, this is the beginning of 2022. Has this guy really ever been right? I don't really think so. And it goes back to the concept that I was talking about, is like speculating, and I truly don't know if he understands that what he's been doing and what he's been telling people is not investing, it's speculating, pumping up cards so that they spike in value and then selling quickly. Well, I don't think he really sold anything to make any money. I would be surprised if he made much money at all on any of his card investments. I think that his money comes from that Market Movers app, or like probably a little bit of money from like YouTube views and whatnot. If you really want to get into some collector content, if that's your niche of the hobby, is looking at collectors collecting cards, I try to do it a lot. These Mail and Hobby Talk, these are just me more or less getting some ideas off of my chest, or things that bother me a lot of times. But Wax Museum podcast, listen to his podcast, go over to his channel, subscribe. I mean, that's truly collector content. We're going to look at some of these auctions that ended I don't know, what was it, over the weekend or earlier this week, something like that. These are PWCC auctions. Look at these prices. This is $500,000. There's still a ton for this card. I mean, this card just a couple years ago was 100,000, maybe a couple 100,000, whatever. But back in July, I mean, this thing is selling for $1.2 million. There's no bubble. Card prices are going to go back up. I think they got a ways to go. We'll talk about it in just a second, but you could have bought the entire 86 Fleer basketball set in PSA 10 condition nonetheless for $400,000, which is still a lot. Again, not saying that these prices aren't crazy enough, but look at Jeff Wilson here. He bought this with just one card here, the PSA 10 Michael Jordan rookie card there, for over $500,000. So he paid $100,000 more than that complete set. So again, why are we listening to these guys? It seems crazy to me. You could go and get this Wilt Chamberlain autograph. There's not a lot that exists out there. Wilt's autograph is pretty scarce compared to a lot of the other players that sign. LeBron James has like thousands more autos than Wilt Chamberlain. Like some of these card prices that are still happening, that are still really high, just don't really make a lot of sense. And 16,000 is no small chump change or anything like that. I'm not saying that. It's still a pretty good sale there for that card. But you know, let's just go back real quick to this video. We'll just talk about it briefly and then we'll move on. Is he saying that there's going to be like a U shape? Like if you look at a graph, we're going to bottom out, then we're going to shoot back up. That's probably what he's hoping will happen. People are hoping that, oh, cards are just going to rise up again. But first of all, we got a couple of concepts to talk about here. We're not having a ton of new people joining the hobby to speculate on cards like they were in 2020 and 2021. So you're not going to see those crazy price increases. I kind of think instead of like a U-shaped graph, you're going to be having more like an L-shaped graph where we've had this drop and you're going to see those prices kind of level off for probably quite a while. That's my prediction. Look at like what happened with base cards. We started grading base cards. A lot of people started talking about them. They shot up in price. They were going crazy for a while. All these guys were telling us to buy these base cards. This is your way to invest in cards. And then people realized these aren't really all that rare. They're just continuing to go up and up in population, especially the graded copies. And then they just fell off a cliff. It's like the same thing that's happened with the high end. You have a lot of people telling us, oh, the 86 Jordan Fleer, it's going to go up forever. It's just an iconic card. And then, Jeff Wilson buys one for $500,000. A couple other people buy one for $700,000. I think there's even an $800,000 sale. And they just drop off a cliff. So to say that cards will go up again is a little bit dishonest, because nowadays, where are you going to get those people coming in that are going to keep pushing these cards up? I just don't see it. So I think we're going to level off. We'll probably continue to drop for a little while, but we are going to level off. And to be fair, I don't think this is every card that's going to level off or drop. I think that if you look through like previous sales on eBay and whatnot, a lot of these cards that are more desirable, especially like 90s cards, they're not dropping. Some of them are even increasing in value. Certain ones that got really hyped up, sure, they're going to drop a little bit. But in general, I think people want to own these cards from their childhood. That's still going to be the case. You see a lot more collectors nowadays that are sticking around, which is great to see. But overall, if you look at that, like the hobby as a whole, that's more or less what I'm talking about. You're not going to see this massive increase in prices happen after you hit the bottom. I just don't see it. And now it's time for everyone's favorite, things that happened in the junk slab era. And I got a cool one for you today. This is not like a cringe post where you're looking at it and you're going, oh man, what were we doing? I just wanted to call it Lameme James over on Instagram. He's been throwing out quality memes throughout the whole card boom. I can't remember exactly when he started posting memes, but this is back in, as you can see, August of 2020 there. And he's saying when you buy a card that you like, and you could care less if its value goes up or down. I think that's really something that we need to focus on nowadays for us as collectors moving forward. Let's just buy cards and enjoy them, All right, so moving on to mail. And I've got more tobacco cards. I've definitely gone off the deep end on these. If you watched my last couple mail and hobby talk, I've been buying these quite frequently. I think I've narrowed it down. We'll go over here in a second what I've narrowed down my collecting goals too, I guess you'd say. So these are the 1912 Wills, or I think that's how you say this, Willis, maybe Willis. These are the musical celebrities cards. So you can see we have like Schubert, Chopin, Mozart, etc., Debussy, like a lot of great composers of the time. So pretty cool cards. This is like a partial set. I've also picked up, these are 1924 Ogden Leaders of Men. You can see them back here. So Plato, Socrates, Darwin, pretty neat there. There's Francis Drake. For anyone that's played the Uncharted series on PlayStation, might recognize his name. He was kind of like a sanctioned pirate almost by the Queen. Went around raiding a lot of Spanish gold, or Spanish ships for gold. And we've got this, let's see, what is this? The 1935 Bridgewater Film Stars 4th series. So I recognize a lot of names in here, and not necessarily because I watched these movies, or you know, movies with these actors in them a whole ton, but like Fred Astaire. My mom was really into like Shirley Temple. So these are more depicting actors rather that I maybe had heard about or maybe watched when I was really young with like my grandparents or something like that. But you'll see Bing Cosby, some of you might know him, like Clark Gable. I mean, he's a pretty big name. Don't worry, I got sports cards. So I just wanted to show you some of these pickups from these tobacco card pickups. This is one that I settled on that I really like. I got this background here so we can check them out, but there's like Tolstoy. These are the Ogden's cigarettes, or Ogden Guinea Gold cigarettes. They had a couple of different variations of these. These were like famous people, right? So these were produced from 1897 to 1907, I believe. So they don't have a specific date on them. If you look like on eBay, I think they say 1901 in graded copies. That's not entirely accurate because they could have been produced anywhere between that 10-year time period. Isaac Newton here, and they're all blank backs. I think there was an Australian release where they did have printing on the back, but here's Wagner, Shakespeare. So there's really a ton of well-known celebrities slash inventors, or you know, just personalities from that time period. There's over 200 cards that came out of these. So I'm going to be focusing on these more in the coming weeks and not so much just buying random stuff. I wanted to show you this too though. This is pretty neat. This is the Player and Sons, John Player and Sons set of like cars here. Like mostly it just says motor cars, but there's, you know, race cars, regular cars, things of that nature. This is like a European set, so a lot of European cards, but I think they have like Ford in here as well, I remember seeing. But this is the booklet you could get to put all these cards in. And so on the back of the cards, they're adhesive, meaning that it's kind of like a stamp. You could lick them and then you could put them in this little album that they had. So they're not adhesive like a sticker, but they're adhesive like a stamp. Yeah, there's like a Ford model. V8 Touring Saloon. So yeah, pretty cool little book here. I picked that up for like 20 bucks just because I thought it was neat. So a lot of these ones that you get these cards out of cigarette packs, and then you could get this album that you could put them in. So it goes pretty well with my, you know, binder mentality of putting all my cards in binders. Alright, so we got some sports cards as well. So I had a copy of this already. This is Topps Pristine. No, this isn't Topps Pristine. This is Topps Treasury Refractor. This is the Gallinari rookie card. Got it for $1. These are out of 50. So picking another one up. This is one I've been after a while for my Essentials 1718 Essentials Platinum set chase. The De'Aaron Fox rookie card. I want to say this was like 25 or 30 bucks, so I was pretty surprised. I've seen these go in the past for like 100 plus. So mark one off the list there. I'm now under 15. And this is my second copy of this select green out of 2021-22. Got it for $5. Couldn't pass up that. Sometimes I just put a snipe in on cards for, you know, cheapish, and then if I win them, awesome, even if I have them already. And we've got I'll show you this other one last, but we've got these He-Man sketch cards from an artist I really like. He's actually based out of Colorado Springs, Jason Montoya. So we got Orko, we got Beastman and Skeletor, and I've got a couple other ones of these. This is from like the 2000X show. I think I've got He-Man and Tila or something like that. Anyway, I'll be putting those in my binder. And last up, I got a pretty awesome card that I'm really excited about. It's this patch from the 2001 All-Star game of Antonio McDyess, and this did come from the All-Star jersey that he wore. So I'm going to see if I can edit in the Kobe that I found online and show you where this patch came from. So hopefully you're seeing that now if I could figure it out. But yeah, this is a 101 patch that Leaf came out with, and I kind of have this love-hate relationship with Leaf cards. Some of their cards I think are really well done like this, others not so much, but just a great little card to pick up in my opinion. This is one of my favorite players, Antonio McDyess, and just to find a card of a jersey that he wore during the All-Star game. Now that was his only All-Star appearance, was that 2001 All-Star game. So anyway, that's my mail for this week, and thanks a lot for checking out this video, and we will catch you on the next one.